In episode 197 of Bullet Heaven, we took a look at Zero Gunner 2- for the Nintendo Switch. At the time the review went live, a number of issues existed in the game, but fixes had already been announced. These fixes have finally been applied, upgrading Zero Gunner 2- to version 1.0.1. So, what has changed? Well, first and foremost, bullets are generally much more visible. While they still duck behind power-ups, they are much easier to see against the glare of brightly lit enemies, backgrounds, and bosses, making them much easier to dodge, generally speaking. However, in darker areas like the Asian slum, shots are a little too dark. They are still plenty easy to see though. Allegedly, the player movement has been tweaked, but we don't feel a lot of difference. Zero Gunner 2- is a 16:9 game rather than 4:3, and the original movement worked just fine as it was. Turning here feels maybe a little smoother, but only very marginally. Still good if it appeases pickier players. For us, it all worked regardless. The glitches involving disappearing items and shots is also gone. We restarted the game, continued, paused a million times, and the game behaved well every time. There's still a slight issue with playing the game from the title screen after sleeping the system, but a quick restart is all that's needed to start a new game. This could also easily be fixed in the future. Additional options in the Meta Options menu also exist, allowing for players to change up the control configuration on the face buttons of the Joy-Con or compatible controller. However, the shoulder buttons are still mysteriously absent. Regardless, Zero Gunner 2- has always been plenty playable even without a controller remap function. Controller vibration can also be turned on and off in this menu. There is still no score-based extend, and the score in general is higher in the Switch version than the Dreamcast version, meaning that they are not interchangeable for competition. But while it's easier in some ways, Zero Gunner 2- doesn't have the fallback of an extra life, making a 1cc, especially on the hardest difficulties, a bigger challenge. The second loop is also still a mystery. While we haven't 1 credit cleared the game with default settings on arcade, no difficulty will trigger it at least, if the extra lives and special weapons are added to the mix. We'll find out soon enough with a proper 1cc. Still, all in all, this patch fixes everything that concerned us the most. Zero Gunner 2- retains its score of 4.25 out of 5, with the added benefit of being even more playable for newcomers than before. It is available on the Nintendo eShop for only $8 US. This episode of Bullet Heaven was made with a copy of the game provided by Zerodiv.